Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I will go ahead and get started. Since I'm doing something a little different today, I'm talking about lessons I've learned throughout the years. Austin, Texas. Okay, wonderful. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Um, I'll go ahead and get started. This is an impromptu session, so I'm welcoming any questions you may have to me. We're doing things a little differently today. Um, we're talking about lessons that we've learned from the layers, and this is regarding cake layers that I've learned. There are lessons in cake. So I guess I'll start off sharing a personal story from my early cake journey, a win, I guess, or a mistake that has taught me something. I'm not sure if you guys know right now, but I am the current ambassador for 17 Hats, and 17 Hats is a CRM tool that is used to help you manage your workflow and to manage your calendar. So in 28, I think it was 2017, I had a big 60th, I think it was a 70th birthday party. And I was using, I wasn't very organized. And I got a call from the hotel, the director of sales and catering calling me. It was on a Friday, actually. And she said, I think you have a birthday cake you're delivering to us today. She said, well, what time, should we expect you? And my heart dropped because I didn't realize that the cake delivery was that Friday. I had in mind that the delivery was Saturday. And it was in that moment that I realized, okay, first of all, you've messed up a client's event. It was a huge 60th birthday party, and I apologized profusely. But what can you say, right? You forgot the orders, a huge 70th birthday party, and they had to scramble and figure something else out, which is very heartbreaking to me. And then it was at that moment that I realized, you know what? You have to do something else. And it was at that moment that I realized that you have to be organized. People are giving you money and trusting you to produce a cake for their event. So therefore, you can't be forgetting about people's cakes. And especially an event as important as a 70th birthday party, it really struck me. So that was the pivotal moment in my business that I said, if you're going to charge a certain dollar amount, you need to be organized. So it was at that moment that I found 17 Hats, which helped me manage my workflow. It helped me manage my calendar. It helped me manage my customer information as far as the contract. That was a big deal because I had the date listed specifically on my contract or on my paper contract, but it was a different date. So if I had an electronic contract, I would have noted the date discrepancies, right? So that was a huge problem for me, not knowing the date discrepancies and not having a physical calendar letting me know today is the day for the event, which has a huge domino effect. So that was a big lesson for me early on in my career, that I learned that you need to get your stuff together. Clients aren't paying you to try to figure it out. You have to have it figured out if you're taking people's money. So to me, that was a huge lesson that I learned in my cake career. And that taught me how to be more precise when it comes to my cake orders, how to be clear as far as the expectation from me as well as the client. I don't know if anybody else has any issues out there where they might have forgotten an order. To me, that was the ultimate, right? Forgetting an order is like, you never want to do that, right? So it taught me precision. It taught me a client connection. Of course, the client was very disappointed. And that was a huge red flag for me. Trying to think of what else I can share. If anybody else has any early cake journeys that might have taught them something, I welcome to hear it in the chat. You taught me so much in 2015 within my journey. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's funny that you mentioned that because in 2015, I started my business in 2013. So it was like 2 years in, back then there was no Craftsy, there was no YouTube. You know, you're doing it the best way that you can. And I'm going to talk a little bit about growth. Let's talk a little bit about the growth and how education and growth can really impact your journey throughout the years. So, back, in 2013, 2015, all the way to maybe 2018, you're trying to figure it out, right? There is no YouTube that people have now, or all the different online platforms to learn how to do cake. You're roughing it out back then. So that's another pivotal point for me as far as why I developed training courses. I developed training courses because there was no training courses for me back then. There were no mentorships. There was no person to tell me how to do things. You learned along the way. So that's one of the struggles that I found when I first came into the cake industry. And that's why it is my passion to help train the next generation or train others on the basics as far as how I do things. I think the basics. Hey, Crazy About Cakes, thank you for joining. It's so pivotal for us to learn the basics in our cake journey, because I struggled. I struggled in the beginning. If I should have had some pictures here to show you how bad it was. Using the star tip, having rough buttercream, not knowing what I'm doing, and struggling through it to the point, to where I am now. But it wasn't easy. Trying to think of what else I could share of some early struggles that I had. Let me share this one. It's so funny. Well, it's not funny now. Oh my God, I should have said it's so funny. I had a cake fall over on me. So I guess this is Confessions of a Cake Artist, right? Confessions of Couture Cakes by Sabrina. So I was working on a baby shower cake, and this was maybe like 2013. Hey, Carrie. I got Carrie fever. So I was working on a baby shower cake, and learning about structure. And I do structure very, very differently now. And I actually teach about how I do structure now. So back then I was using a wood board, and I didn't put a hole in the center of the board. So, you stack the tiered cake, and then I put a dowel down the center, again, not realizing that I need to put a hole in the board. So I'm driving to deliver this cake, and I hear a crash in the background. And I said, oh my God. I pulled over to the side of the road, and I opened up the back of the box, and the cake had topped over. Oh my God. And again, my heart dropped. And, I did the best that I could, and I delivered it to the lady at the, it was Hotel for a Baby Shower. And again, and this is one of those things that you don't hear people really talk about. Thank you, Crazy About Cakes. It taught me structure. Back in 2012, 2013, 2015, you weren't really talking about structure back then, right? You see all these cakes. I think the cake shows were just coming out, Cake Boss and all this good stuff. Nobody tells you about structure. So I delivered the cake. She was very nice about it and everything. And of course I gave some money back. But again, that's when I decided I'm gonna do a training course about structure. So then I did my Cake 101 course about buttercreaming, about fondaning, and about structure. And it definitely happened, and I just cried, trying to figure it out. And you see all these beautiful cakes on TV, And well, nowadays, now people share on YouTube about their structures. But back then, yes, I got 2004. Yeah. Well, there you go. I haven't heard about Wilton books forever. No YouTube University and DVDs. Wilton books. I used to love the Wilton books. That's right. That was like a dream book. That was like the J.C. Penney's Christmas book for me. The Wilton books. You know, each season they would give you the Wilton books, and you would see the cakes and the trends. Oh, I forgot about the Wilton books. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, so that taught me structure. Trying to think of what else I can share. Again, this is an impromptu um, a wedding Wednesday. So if there's anything anybody wants to ask me, you know, feel free to ask me any questions. I am here. I'm trying to think of what else I can share. I didn't want to break my cadence by not coming on here on the first Wednesday of the month. So I was like, well, let me come out here and at least keep the cadence going and share some tidbits that I've learned. Oh, I will say this. As a result of my mistakes, it taught me growth. It helped me to accept responsibility. It helped me. It eliminated pride. There's no pride in me. It will humble you because first of all, I had to realize it's not about me. Hey, 17 Hats ad. I was like, I know her. Yay! Yes. The 17 Hats ad. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there's a 17 Hats ad going around because I'm the ambassador of 17 Hats for 2025, 2026. By the way, shameless plug. I am doing a 17 Hats webinar. Link is in my bio. It's a free webinar on anybody who might be interested in 17 Hats for their business. I'm talking about my workflow, how I take the client intake process, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in learning about 17 Hats, oh, good. I already have it and love it. Okay, great. What do you do when you deliver and their structure is not stable? Am I to care after all the work I put in? When you say their structure, you mean their cake table? Or when you say, is it Rafia? Are you a florist or what type of, I'm sorry, no, sweet things treats. Sorry, wrong one. I'll come back to, what do you do when you deliver and their structure is not stable? Am I to care after? So I'm assuming you mean the cake table is it the cake table wobbly? Sweet things, treats, if you can clarify that. Yes, or that suspended swing. Well, I have them corrected. They have to correct that. I'll tell the planner or whoever it may be, I'll also take a leveler with me too. Look, this is not stable. This is not level. We need to correct this. And I tell them before I put my cake on it. I do have something in my contract that states that once I deliver the cake has to be a certain way. As far as the temperature, as far as the structure, all those good things. So, but yeah, if it's not stable, I don't put my cake on there. They have to fix it. And if they are willing to take the chance or willing to take the chance and do that, that's not on me. If they say, well, just leave it or whatever, we'll take care of it or whatever, I'm going to have you sign a disclaimer saying that you accept responsibility for that. And once I deliver the cake, it's out of my hands. I know that might not be the best answer, but it's on them to make sure that the structure is stable for the cake that you've designed. And if it's a swing or suspended cake, there should be a weight limitation that you tell them, look, this cake could be 50 pounds. Let's make sure that this swing can accommodate this cake. But most times, I guess if it's a swing, it could be faux due to the lightness of the cake. So it might not even be real at that place, but still it has to be level and it has to be stable for the cake. I hope that helps. I'm not sure if it directly answered you, but that's how I would address that. Okay. Yes, some party planners do like put it on there. Oh no, I don't trust that. Right. And if I get a cake table and it's wobbly, they have to change the table out. I'll be like, this cake is not stable. We need a new table. And I'll leave my cake in the box and I will wait for them to change table out and I'll test it and then I'll put my cake out there. Rafia, thank you for checking. Do you stack your cakes now before delivering? It depends. Anything 3 tiers or higher, I stack on site. If it's 3 tiers or less, I take it fully stacked. So I don't take it anything. Yeah, nothing higher than 3 tiers are stacked before I go. Let me say that again. 3 tiers are fully stacked. Anything above 3 tiers are stacked on site. Does that make sense? Did I say that clear? 3 tiers or less is fully stacked. Let me see if there are any more questions. Shonda Bear, thank you for joining. You know what? It's so funny. I am going to reach out to you because I was like, I want to connect with you. So I'm going to reach out to you, Shonda Bear, if you're still on. Okay, facts. Things definitely bring you on level. Yeah, absolutely helps. Yeah, definitely. You have to bring a leveler because you will never know. And it's so funny because I have put a cake on a table and I'll be like, oh, it's leaning. I'll be like, it don't look right. And then I'll take my picture with my phone because when you look through a phone, you see things differently. I'll be like, oh, that's not right. That's not level. I was like, oh, they need to do something about that. Because like I said, when you work so hard to work on your cakes and something's not right, it's not level, that's not great. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was clear. Are there any more questions? I feel like I'm rambling. Yeah, they do. They do. On my iPhone, on my iPad, actually, they do have a leveling app too. I have seen that, and they have a measuring tool too, where you can measure things. Yeah. Are there any more questions for me? Are there any questions for me? I've been going. You know, it's so weird because first of all, I don't like going live. Yeah, I know. I want to reach out to you in general because I've seen you, but we've never really connected because I always worked with Kamania. So I'm going to definitely reach out to you just for us to connect, just to touch bases because yeah, it has been a while. I'd be so scared to make a cake taller than 3 tiers. And that's why I stacked more than 3 tiers on site. That's great. Keep going. How long did it take you to master the stacking method? Okay, you're going to my cake 101 course. Trial and error. I rely on foam core boards now. I order my boards from I think it's Cake Things, and I do the pre-drilled holes in my cakes. Again, trial and error, trying to tape it, trying to figure out where the hole is. Then you drill the hole and you miss the center. And then as a result of missing the center, your cake's off because it's not completely in the center. Drama. I'm not doing all that. I'm not. So I order my foam cores with the holes already pre-drilled. And then based on that, some people do it differently. I glue my dowel in the cake board. So I stack it down on the cake. You know, you put your poly dowels and stuff in there, but I do the stacking method. That way the cake is in the center. My foam core boards on my cake have a pre-drilled hole. I'm not trying to think about all that if I'm in the center or not. It's foolproof method. And again, I had to learn how to do that because I'm going to say this word. I used to use CakeSafe. A lot of people love CakeSafe. I have nothing against it. I have a cake safe in my garage. For me, I had instances where I'd get ready to deliver the cake. The UK. Never done that method. The UK and Australia do it that way. Yeah, yeah. That's how I do mine. And what was I going to say? Oh, so I was getting ready to deliver a wedding cake. And, I'm not sure if anybody knows about Cake Safe here. And like I said, some people love it. Some people, there are mixed emotions here. For some people swear by it. So I would go down to put the hole in the middle of the cake and it would stick and it wouldn't go all the way down. And that has caused me to be late a couple times delivering a cake. And I have delivered the cake with the thing halfway out of it because I couldn't drill it down. So, that's why I decided to use that method with the wood dowel and the foam core. It's stable. It's hot glued in there. It's not going to go anywhere. And I couldn't be dependent on that. Plus, Cake Safe is heavy. It's a 2-person deal. And I just had to get away from that and just start using, my method that I have out there. So that's that. Shameless plug, Cake 101. Okay. Are there any more questions? I can't believe I've been on here. It's almost 40 minutes, guys. I need to do more of these one-offs. I like the questions. Are there any other questions for me? Are there any? That's so great. Thank you. Let me know if you want me to do more of these impromptu Q&As. I have this thing about coming on live. I just, and I think everybody is intimidated about going live. No, I do not. I work out of a commercial kitchen in the DC area. So no, I don't have a shop, but I don't see myself having a shop. I would want to have like a, I guess it would be called like a boutique, where it's by appointment only. And with that being said, that would be a place where I would train out of also, have my training courses. I've been really working on my sugar flowers. Yeah, a shop is a lot of work. And I don't want to have to sell cupcakes and cake pops and all this other stuff to keep the doors open. So I've been working a lot on my sugar flowers. And I had some sugar flowers upstairs that I was working on, but I forgot to bring it. But I've been working a lot on my sugar roses. I have a reel that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow. And I think the next phase for me, since I'm talking about maybe future. So we are October 1st. This is the last quarter of the year. So this is goals, right? I'm digressing. So I really want to focus on maybe doing a sugar floral course next. Working on sugar flowers is my labor of love. So as far as last quarter goals, I maybe think a lot more about producing a sugar flower course. And can't wait to join a class. Yeah, most definitely. We met at Miss Valentine's. Oh, Valentine's event in National Harbor. You were also, oh my God, that was years ago. Diane Valentine, the cuff. It was the cuff, right? Was it at the bridal salon? I think that's Diane Valentine, right? I'm thinking that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I remember. So yes. Does anybody have any goals they're working on? This is the last quarter. Today is October 1st. We have 3 more months left in this year. This is the time to really focus on your goals, there's anything that you've been wanting to do, to get out there and do it, and to make things happen. Today, the government shut down in the DC area. It could impact workers. So now's the time to really focus on that thing that you really want to do, that passion. Does anybody have any goals that they want to share in the chat? Anything that you're believing for in the last 3 months of this year, or anything you want to do? I do not do bridal shows because I have found that they don't benefit me. And I hope that didn't sound harsh by saying that, but I found that a lot of times at bridal shows, they're just looking to, how do I want to say this? They're shopping around, per se. They're not looking to really pull the plug. I did it early on in my career. I had never got any brides from it. It was more, I think, more visibility for people to know that I'm out there. But as far as getting brides and clients from that, I never obtained anything from that. So for me, it didn't work. But, for other people, it may work. So don't let me discourage you if that's something that you want to try. Amen. If that's something you want to try, sweet things, treats, by all means do it. Are you currently doing bridal shows, or is it something that you're thinking about doing? Trying to bear focus on bringing in more 2026 clients and streamlining my workflow. Yes. 2026 clients. We're in that last quarter where now's the time where, well, we're getting close to engagement season, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas time is when people typically get engaged. So yes, hopefully we can work together in 2026. So we need to try to make that happen. Same thing. I thought the same thing was considered. Yeah. Again, I started my wedding cake business in 2013. So, back in the Montellucci days when they had the Montellucci tours, Black Brides, back when they were doing all those different tours. But now, like I said, the wedding industry has changed, and they're not doing those things anymore. So anybody else have any other goals they're looking to accomplish in the last 3 months of the year? And if not, I will do a shameless plug again. Shameless plug, 17 Hats webinar informational is next Wednesday, October 8th. Link is in my bio. And shameless plug for my free fondant course that I have out there. Link in bio. It's a free fondant demonstration that I recorded on how I fondant my cakes. It's my method. So that's a link in my bio also. Shameless plug. Would love to find a ghost kitchen. Crazy about cakes. You're not in where are you located? I know you had mentioned the UK as far as their stacking method, but where are you located specifically? Sweet. I want to focus on more elegant veins of clients. Yes. Okay, I'm in New Jersey. I'm not sure about New Jersey and their ghost kitchens. I know here in the DC area, there's a website that lists out various ghost kitchens in the area that you can call and try to find out their pricing and stuff. But I'm not sure about the New Jersey area.